Hi, welcome to Forex in 4. I'm Mike Conlon for FXEDU, and in the next 4 minutes, I'm going to show you the highlights of where the action is in today's Forex market. So let's get started.
Good morning. Today is Tuesday, May 25th, 2010. This morning we're talking about the perfect storm. Now, what I mean by that is that world financial markets are facing sort of a slew of events that are causing major risk aversion. All right. Now, some of these are related to economic events abroad, but others have to do with more political and potential military actions taking place abroad. And I'm specifically speaking about what's going on with North Korea. Right now, they're basically all fingers point to the fact that they were the ones that sank that South Korean vessel. They do this from time to time. They sort of posture. They sort of try to flex their muscles, and basically what's happening in the past is that they sort of hold the region hijacked until everybody says, all right, what do you want? And then it usually involves some sort of payoff, which they then accept, and then they be quiet for a little while, and it starts up again. Well, this time it may be different. There's a lot of, people are getting tired of this, but what happens is it destabilizes economies in the area. They do have nuclear capabilities, so that's a fear right there. Second thing happening is coming from the Eurozone again. Shocker. We talked yesterday about, is Spain next? Well, Spain is going through a series of banking maneuvers that are attempted to match up weak banks with the stronger banks in an attempt to shore up their financial system. So that's causing fear that some of this Greek debt crisis has spilled over to Spain, and that contagion has taken place, and that they're going to be in for another world of trouble. Now, the Spanish economy is much larger than Greece, so if they have a threat of default, it's going to be on a much grander scale than what happened in Greece. Okay, and lastly, we talked about I wanted to talk a little bit more about China today, but with all that's going on in the market, I don't know if we'll have time to get to it all. But Secretaries Clinton and Geithner are over there, and they're trying to make some headway with China as far as opening up Chinese markets for U.S. businesses, and then also getting them to do something about the peg of the yuan to the U.S. dollar. Well, the problem is that with China, a lot of this is it's about saving face in China. It's not necessarily what makes sense, but these guys got to figure out some sort of way to make the Chinese believe that this is their idea and that it's in their interest to raise the price of the yuan, because they're not going to sit back and let anybody else tell them what to do. That's just a cultural feature of the Chinese mentality. So take that for what it's worth. So anyway, we're seeing major risk aversion in the markets. All right, world stock markets are down. In Asia, they were down anywhere from 2.5% to 3%. Same in Europe. U.S. stock market's about to open, and we're looking at about right now futures are down roughly 200. So we're going to see how the markets open here, but it doesn't look like this is going to be a pretty day. So we're going to have to see kind of how this thing plays out. But oil's below 68. Gold is down in the 1190 area, which isn't so bad because gold sometimes acts as a safe haven asset. So just want to take a look at some of these pairs. We're just going to look in the daily real quick. Here's Aussie dollar. We said yesterday it's at a 10-month low. Testing that again, coming down to about 80 cents, which would be obviously a low for 2010. I just want to point out the euro. The euro is actually holding up a bit here at 122, and this is the lows that we've seen recently. So we're testing them down in the 121 level, but I'm a little bit surprised that there isn't more of a sell-off there, with this whole Spanish debt thing. So we're going to see what happens with that. That's an interesting one to keep an eye on. Some of the other ones we want to talk about. Let's talk about dollar loonie. Okay, dollar loonie has eclipsed the 2010 high, so there's some strength there. Although analysts are still betting that they may raise rates in Canada at next week's policy rate meeting. Now, this actually could be a pretty good time for them to slip in a rate hike. They were concerned when the loonie was back at parity with the dollar. Hey, if we raise rates here, what's going to happen? Well, the loonie's going to strengthen even more, maybe come down to the 98, 95 level. But now that they're back up at 108, 109. They could probably slip in a rate hike if they want to do it, and fall back down to levels that are still above parity. So we might see that next week. Other news: Great Britain. Came in with the GDP figures largely in line, fastest manufacturing growth that they've seen in almost 4 years. So things are looking better in the UK. One of their policymakers, Posen, came out and said that they're not going to experience any Japan-like stagflation that was reminiscent of the lost decade that we call it. And lastly, just look at dollar yen. Yen's obviously the strongest today. Unwind to carry trades. All right. Trend looks down. We could be getting to near a 2010 high for the yen at roughly 88 dollar to the yen. So that's what we're seeing here in the markets. Now, when you get days like today that are clear risk aversion days, the problem is we have some events that you can't really quantify. I mean, nobody knows what's going to happen with North Korea. I mean, these guys have nuclear capability. They could fire off a warning shot. Who knows what they're going to do? Also, there's some fear about what's going to happen with China. If China decides they want to revalue their yuan, well, is that going to cause an economic slowdown? And if so, is it going to affect the commodity currencies like Australia and New Zealand? Now, Australia is China's largest trading partner, so if Chinese demand for commodities and raw materials goes down, that could affect the Aussie economy, even though that economy's been doing pretty well as of late. So this North Korean deal is really the wild card here. Nobody's really sure what's going to happen. But keep your eyes on the Spanish banking deal as well. They haven't asked for anything yet, so it appears that they're trying to do this all in-house, which is potentially why the euro is holding on to a bid here at 122. But the first peep out of Spain that, whoops, hey, we may need to access the bailout funds, that's going to send the euro down the next leg lower. So that's what we're seeing today. Dollar strength and yen strength on unwind to carry trades. And, that's about it. So, a lot of volatility in the market. When you get this large of moves, volumes become lighter at different levels, so these things can move pretty quick. So, like my favorite old show, Hell Street Blues, just be careful out there. So that's what we have for today. Good trading to all.
As always, be sure to check out the written blog at www.fxedu.com to get complete coverage of today's Forex market. If you would like to learn more about how to trade the Forex market from professionals like myself, be sure to check out our affordable Forex trading courses. And if you're already a seasoned professional or aspire to be one, ask us how we can help you achieve your Forex goals. Go to www.fxedu.com to get started today.